Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there in our little geekdom, and welcome to another...
Our little geekdom?
Our little geekdom. I got it right once. I got it right once. This is episode 16. At least I can remember the numbers. We are on episode 16 now. It's been quite a journey. Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff.
16 weeks. Can you believe it?
Yeah, 16 weeks.
Amazing.
We've been doing this crap for 16 weeks. Anyway, we'd like to welcome our good friend
Gork2000.
There you go. Gork2000. Someone who has someone who's actually been doing all of the D&D stuff with us. You'll probably have seen him on his own podcast doing the D&D stuff with us. The Lucky Packet Party.
Yes, the Lucky Packet Party that we need to get going again as soon as my studies are behind me.
Yes, we do. We need to get that going again as well. So Gork, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. It's awesome to be here. It's awesome to have to see you guys again. So yeah.
Yeah, how's things going down there in the S of A?
In the S of A, things are going very cold right now. Probably not as cold as you guys get in Scotland.
No.
But it is a flash snap cold for South Africa, and that means I have to put on a jacket. So I'm luckily not wearing jean pants yet. But it's still damn ass cold.
Joburg weather, my friend. Joburg weather.
No, it's colder. It's like the coldest winter months of winter temperatures that we've recorded in a few years now this past week.
No, it's actually kind of crazy. My mother was telling me.
So for those of our watchers and listeners who don't know who you are, because we did miss this part, tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, all of those beautiful things.
Hello everybody, my name is Gork. My real name is Jock, but I stream as Gork2000. I'm a streamer, I'm a huge geek of nerd. I've been a professional DM for many a year, an old chess player. And my hobbies include reading, playing games, reading up on Warhammer Fantasy knowledge and lore, and playing board games. I'm a huge board game geek. We have a mighty good collection going currently, and we love to entertain our friends over weekends with, food, board games, and good times.
Nice.
That's it. That's me in a nutshell.
That's him in a nutshell. Yes. So, now obviously you're a DM yourself as well, which makes for interesting conversation, talking to DMs, because DMs like to create stories for people, and for some odd reason I feel like I'm really out of focus here.
You're not. You're fine.
You're not. You're fine. You're good in focus on my side.
Right, it's just the bloody microphone's getting on my nerves. Right, so being a DM, I mean, we've chatted about this before, and you've said how difficult it actually can be to be a DM. I remember on the Geek Inspired podcast, you said that it was quite difficult to actually, get the whole DMing thing down, and first learning how to actually do it was one of the most difficult things you did. So I mean, how long did it take? It must have taken ages to actually get that far.
I would say it took me about 5 years to find my groove and how to not to just to become a storyteller, a story creator.
Yeah.
Because you get various types of DMs, and like the type of DM I like to think of myself as is the storyteller, whereas I create a story. I leak bits of information to my players as they go along, so that they don't grasp immediately what's the master plan, right? And then I like to set my players up with challenges that they can overcome. They just need to think a little bit and use their toolkits to the best of their abilities. So, but I'm also a kids gloves off kind of DM, where if you do something stupid, I am going to give you a bloody nose very quickly.
In other words, don't go running into a cave without actually being prepared. You will die.
Precisely. If you're going up against a vampire, go research the vampire.
Exactly.
Go find out everything you can about him, because there's nothing as terrifying as walking into the vampire's lair and ripping out your cross of helm and going, "Oh, fight!" And the vampire goes, "Huh?"
That's pretty.
That's
Pretty
not a
cross.
pink here. That's a pretty cross. I'll quickly shove it up here for you.
So now, I mean, that is, I am not one of those run in and beat the crap out of everything kind of people. I'm sure you've seen this from how I actually play my own games when I'm actually playing games. I like to level up. I like to make sure that I am strong enough to deal the damage before I go in and just deal the damage.
Yes.
And that's something for a lot of you players out there. A DM like Gork is someone who will guide you through, and if you do a good job and you actually work to get your levels, and you actually try and level up first, and you try and get XP from things, you'll grow, you'll build your character, and then you can fight the big boss. Whereas if you're just one of those gung-ho run in and try and kick everyone's ass, you're gonna die. Playing with Gork is like playing The Witcher. or better yet, it's like playing Dark Souls. You got to get good.
But you also used to give us like hints and stuff. I remember, because I'm obviously still new to the whole D&D thing, and you would say that's the good thing about you as well, is that you're open to people that are experienced, but also people that are new and still learning. So like with me, you used to say, well, you sense these kinds of things, don't you think you should do this or try that or look for this? Whereas someone like myself, I wouldn't know to actually think about things like that, where you would say, why not try this?
I mean, I expect like from the two experienced party members, like say JP and Angelique, to know these things, because they have 10 plus years of role-playing experience underneath their belt. So them it should become intuitive to ask certain types of questions. Whereas for you, who is a complete newbie, I don't expect you to ask these things or even think about it. I want to guide you and learn you how to think to be a good role player, to be a good party member. I also focus on character development. I love building up my player characters, to develop their stories from their background stories, to bring them up, to give them a sense of accomplishment and an achievement after reaching a certain experience level. I mean, it's so awesome if you have a backstory where you capture your father got murdered, right, at some point in time, and along your adventure you can take revenge on his murderer. I mean, you track him down. You actually find out this person is the one who killed my father, and you take revenge on his name, and you clear his honor. You clear his name of all the misdeeds he was accused of. It's a gratifying feeling.
Yeah, that's
in a role-playing game.
Yeah, that's like a character progression side quest. It's not part of the main story, but it does flesh out your character a lot more, which in my opinion is very important. It's something that you need to actually have. I mean, I'm an intermediate kind of a player. I've played D&D before. I know how to do certain things within the game. I know how to ask certain questions, but I focus to give you guys out there an idea of what it is like to be if you're a gamer and you want to get into playing, D&D and whatnot, or Pathfinder or any of those kinds of games, to get into that kind of game, just take your gaming mind and put it to use in the same aspect. So, for example, if you've played Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale or Dragon Age or any of those kinds of games, try and picture your character as that character, or as a character like that, where you're actually running through a world like that. The only difference is you're actually using this and not it's like Moss says in the IT crowd, using the strongest computer of them all, your brain. So it's the same thing. You're going to be using your imagination most of the time, and think of it the same way. You've got to build the world around that, and that's something that Gork is very good at doing. I know that you did that for a very long time. You actually built the world around us. I could picture where I was going and where I needed to go. So when you said, there's like 4 or 5 buildings and there's a main street and you've got 2 buildings on the left and 1 building on the right or whatever, I knew what I was doing, so I knew where I wanted to go.
Yes.
So I was
and I painted a picture of the inn for you so you can see clearly. There's the inn.
Yes, exactly.
This location.
Yeah, and so you walk in, and then he'll he'll paint a picture of who's in the room, and then you can walk around, and you can actually, in your mind, you can actually picture the room. You can see what you can do. You can search for things to loot, because it's me and I'm a shithead and I like to steal from people. So
But not only that, you're like, I know some DMs do it and others don't, but you actually add voices to the different characters, and you add their own little like special touches, which was different, and obviously just added to that immersion of the story as well.
Thank you so very much. That's something I specialize in. I love to bring NPCs to life. To give every little one of them something special you can remember them by. Even if they're the most inconsequential character of them all. For some reason people remember them, and you're like, what? I did that?
That's the thing, though, and that's what brings out everything about your character, about your characters and your NPCs and how you create them. But with, one thing Kez hates is sound effects, especially the ones that I make. Because the sound effects that I make...
it's not the sound effects he makes. It's the sound effects they made on Big Bang Theory,
which
and he just
I can actually copy. So I can make the bats go like...
Oh, no.
And she fucking hates it.
So
She wants to kill me because she hates that sound. It's like hearing cats lick. She cannot stand the sound of cats licking. So like... she hates it. Absolutely despises it. So when I do it... it really pisses her off.
So, speaking about earlier about role-playing in terms of games, Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, Tyranny, these are all fantastically big title names of role-playing games. The Witcher series, I mean, they are role-playing games par excellence. But what to your mind is the best role-playing game you've ever played on a computer or on a console?
I actually cannot put any of them first, second, third, or fourth, or any. You can't actually number them, because each one of them has their own deep characteristic. But one that I always seem to go back to, one that I actually want to get on Steam now as well, which I'm thinking of buying at some point, is Vampire the Masquerade. But Bloodlines,
yes.
Because Bloodlines brought in the very. Now, the first time I saw this, it was myself and one of my bandmates. We were busy getting ready for a gig, and we arrived at his house, and he was playing this game. And I watched this game, and I was like, I really want to play this game, because it's a first-person. It was the first time I'd ever seen a first-person shooter that was an RPG where you could be a vampire in modern-day Santa Monica. I was like, that is fucking cool.
It was amazing when Vampire Bloodlines, blew everybody's minds. It became an instant cult classic.
And it's still being worked on today.
Still is.
You've got patches. You've got millions of patches.
Yeah.
You got the new one, the color.
The second one's coming out as well at some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
They just pushed back the release date
Again.
to make the game as best as they could.
Yeah, at least I respect them for doing that. I don't know how you feel about that, but I respect them for doing that.
No, I respect them all the way. I'm so glad they would do something like that. I would rather have a good, solid, polished game than something that's coming out in drips and drabs in forms of DLCs.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I hate to point at them, but CD Projekt Red, I love them. I love them. They're a great company. They did an unbelievable job with The Witcher. Remembering that The Witcher did come out broken. The Witcher 3 came out completely broken, and they had to fix that along the way as well. The Witcher 2 also came out broken, and they had to fix that along the way. So they've got a reputation for bringing out games broken and then fixing them along the way.
Yeah.
So, I would expect the same thing from Cyberpunk, and I did expect the same thing from Cyberpunk. It was what got me with that was the build up that everyone actually they did it to themselves. They were like, oh, it's gonna be perfect, and I was sitting there going, the game's not finished, and people were like, oh, just release the game already, and I'm sitting there going, wait for it, it's gonna come out broken. And I wanted to say it on camera, but you know how much shit I would get from the communities had I said that. Now I can say it straight. They did it to themselves. They screamed about it. Release the game. You promised that the game would be out. Release the game. I'm sitting there going, give them a chance to. I would say stop. Don't do anything. Let them finish the game and then release it. Because the game is still not ready. It's still buggy as hell. So.
Well,
Yeah.
Like The Witcher is fantastic. You know, I mean, it is a triple A RPG title. You know, it's
Yeah.
the heavyweight champion of RPG titles currently going around
Yeah.
in the gaming world. But have you played Disco Elysium? Yes.
No.
Not.
What
If
is
you're
it
an
on?
RPG fan, it is about a drunken, drug-addicted detective who has lost his memories in all of them, and he has to investigate a murder in the small town of Martinez. And he has a companion from a different district that joins him, Kim Kitsurugi. This like uptight, very moral, straight arrow Asian detective, or as they call it, the Siano detective. So basically, what I've done is the whole story is about you trying to recover your memories, and at the same time recreate your character as you investigate the murder, because you know nothing of yourself. And your first thought is that you are the disco cop. You are a rock star. You are center stage. People can't take that away from you. But everybody you interact with in the beginning of the game is like, this asshole again. So, for a game that is investigative, right? It has a very unique skill tree. One,
Yeah.
for how you can skill up your character. Two, the decision trees for responses. You know, as in characters talking to you, right? Based on how you develop a character, boggles the mind. Number three, the game is a prime example of there's more than one way to skin a cat. In this case, there are about 4 to 5 solutions to each and every side quest you face. So from my side, you know, if you have a chance, play the game. It's 40 to 50 hours long,
not bad.
but it is.
Yeah.
You just sit there and you're like, click, click. It's a lot of reading work to do, but wow. So my all-time favorite role-playing game of all time still remains Planescape Torment.
That's a
But
good game.
Disco Elysium, after finishing Disco Elysium, I was like, hot damn, I think I've got a contender here for best role-playing game I've ever played in my life. Honestly, truly. It just, you know, The Witcher 3 is great and fantastic, but Disco Elysium from a pure role-playing point of view is a work of art. It's majestic.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And I find out after I finished the game, the way I played it, that I only touched on 40% of the content in the game.
Awesome.
If I played with a different character with different skills, I could have unlocked different decision, things and gotten to other places and discovered different kinds of information.
Well,
It's like, wow.
Yeah, and that's important. That's something that you have to actually look for. Is something that brings that much out in a game is if it can actually do give you that wow factor.
Yeah.
I'm very difficult when it comes to particular kinds of role-playing games. I don't just pick up any game and say, oh, I like this one.
Yeah.
Does King's Quest count?
King's Quest is awesome.
Point and click. Best kind of RPG. Well, not an RPG, but best kind of storytelling game.
I like King's Quest. I liked it when I was little. I liked the original ones, and then I played the remade ones that they had recently as well, and they were both really, really fun. So if it counts, those are my favorite ones.
I thought
It's
Monkey
Monkey
Island.
Island.
And Monkey Island, yeah.
Ditto.
I'm a big fan of Monkey Island. I like the idea behind Monkey Island. I like the whole look, the when I played Monkey Island, the very first Monkey Island I played was actually The Curse of Monkey Island, and I could not stop playing that game. I just could not stop playing that game. It was epic. I played it like on the normal Monkey Island version, and then I played it on the extra hard version, which really wasn't that difficult. It was once you finish it on the normal version, it's just a few more things that you have to actually figure out. Once you do, and even if you do finish the game and you know how to finish it, leave it for a couple of months and come back to it, and you'll want to do it again and again and
Yeah.
again and again. That's the kind of game that you can play.
The first Monkey Island game I actually touched and played myself was the 3D one. Right, me and my sister would sit next to each other by the PC and like, don't try this, no, don't try this, go talk to this guy. And we actually grew so close during that period. You know, we would try and puzzle solve together. It was like so awesome.
Yeah, no, it is epic. Sorry, I've got a grey hair on my beard that's pointing into my mouth. It's kind of annoying.
I see it now. I didn't when you pointed it out. It's gone now.
Yeah, there it is. See, there it is. There it is.
there
it's
it
when
is.
you open your mouth.
No, it's also the light above my head. It's shining so well that it looks like I've got a piece of snot or something. It's not snot.
So then move your microphone to hide it. There you go.
Now no one can. That's not moving the microphone. That's moving me.
Well, it's still hidden now. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've always enjoyed point and click. There are lots of games. I am literally an anything goes kind of a gamer. I will play pretty much anything as long as it actually catches my attention. If it doesn't catch my attention, I won't be interested in it. I have played. I play a game called Fishing North Atlantic.
It's a fishing simulator.
It's a fishing game. You go out you start out with a little fishing boat that you use to catch what are they called, swordfish, and then you catch swordfish, you sell them, then you start building up a capital to be able to buy bigger and bigger ships, and eventually you start building trawlers and you do crab fishing, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can also do in the game. But it's a very simple design. All you got to do is fish.
You gotta do is fish.
That's it.
A good
You
point
gotta know how to fish.
A good point and click game that I played the other day was that Gibbous game. It's a Cthulhu type game.
Heartbreaking.
It's kind of sad at the end, but it's really, really funny, where basically this guy gets the Necronomicon, and he opens it and reads a spell, and his cat can then start talking, and they have to basically save the world from this bad Cthulhu type demon, but also he's trying to find someone who can help him reverse the spell to stop his cat from talking to him. And she's a really sassy back talking cat as well. It's so funny, but it's also short, but it's definitely one of those you've got to play it at one point.
I think the main thing that made her so sad, though, to be honest, was the fact that our cats hadn't even arrived yet. We were down 9 cats, you know, and you know, playing this game, she kind of cried a little, you know. I don't blame her. Yeah,
well, it's at the end. I'm not going to give it away, but it's kind of sad, but then it gives you like a twist, but it's still the ending is a bit sad because, yeah.
She's not going to spoil it.
Oh, yeah, do not spoil the game. It sounds interesting. I would like to check it out.
But yeah, that's the whole thing about these point and click, or not these point and click games. Any game that you can play, you know, as long as it catches your attention, go ahead and play it.
Yeah. Well, personally, for my personal taste, right, I hate survival type games, survival sandboxes. You know, that thing of, you know, you're dumped in the middle of nowhere and I've got to go punch a tree for some wood.
That's my kind of
Oh, I hate that. I mean, to name a few, it's like Rust, Minecraft, Valheim. I can't. It's just, it's to me like stupid beyond stupid because it's futile. I don't get any reward out of anything.
Yeah, that's why I like it, because I get to build bases and stuff. That's my thing. I love to build bigger and bigger
you
bases.
can build bases, and that's awesome. And that's it for me.
There's got to be story.
Now.
I understand where you're coming from. You got to have story, and you know, there's got to be some sort of point to it.
One survival type game that I actually love, and it's like my secret shame. That's RimWorld.
RimWorld.
Because RimWorld's an indie game. You start off and you play a little bit, and then you look up and it's 3 hours gone. Like, what did I do? Well, I built a pen for my animals to sleep in. I've got some crops going now. That's nice. Now, RimWorld is really worth looking into if you enjoy the base building survival game. It actually comes with a nice decent story, a full world map, to explore. Different tribes and different peoples you can interact with and stuff. And yeah, and there's like 4 game modes you can choose from. I like the relaxed sandbox game. It gives you a little bit of everything, a little bit of combat, a little bit of exploration, a little bit of this, and it gives you the big end quest, which is to build a spaceship to get off the world. Yeah.
Okay, it seems pretty
So
interesting.
there is actual story to it. There is actually a point to your hard work and labor.
That's the same.
Yeah,
with
that's
Subnautica.
one thing that I don't like about
I
these
heard
games as well.
Subnautica.
I do need to agree with you. We obviously do 7 Days to Die for the funnies and the giggles of it,
Yeah.
but and to kill the zombies. But also, I'm also like, okay, what's the point behind all of these things? I'm like you. I need to have a story to
There is a
know
story.
that I have a point.
There is a story to 7 Days to Die.
Kill all the zombies?
No. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you haven't figured it out yet, you'll figure it out eventually.
So you mentioned earlier that you were an ex-chess player, and you and I had like this whole discussion a few weeks ago, or I think it was last week.
About 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
But I went, because Ross didn't hear the story, and yes, I said your real name, I'm sorry.
So?
But I want everyone else to hear the story as well, because I think it's pretty cool, and I could just imagine you saying it. So can you tell us about the time that you met and played with, I don't know his full name, but...
It's Anatoly Karpov.
Yes, that one.
Yes, it was way back in 2005. I met him through my father. We were at the Junior World Chess Champs at that point in time in France, and my dad made friends with Karpov, and he invited us to one day to his wine farm. Now, Anatoly Karpov was the 12th world chess champion. He reigned for about 10 to 15 years before handing the reins over to Garry Kasparov. So, as a lark, I asked him for a game of chess when we were on his wine farm, and he said, jovially, very quickly, yeah, sure, let's have a quick game. And this is like back in the day when I was at my peak, my absolute peak of my chess career. I was like at my very best. And we started playing this game, and about 20 moves in, I was sitting there going, shit. Shit, he has me. Dude, I haven't been playing a game at all. I've just been playing his game the whole time. And I was like, thinking I'm doing good. So my strategy for the game was to beeline for the end game phase of a chess match, which can easily be achieved within 20 moves. To do this, you quickly, rapidly exchange your main pieces, your bishops and knights, your rooks, queens, get them off the table, so that you can only have 1 or 2 of each left, and the king. The in-game phase was always my forte. It was where I was the strongest. I practiced the in-game theories, strats like a madman. That's where I won my games back then. So little did I know that Anatoly Karpov is known as the world's best in-game player.
So he whooped your ass.
The thing is that when he sat down finally by the table for the end game phase, and he's like, now we can play, and I'm like, oh no. The atmosphere changed. It's like literally felt that compression, the pressure on you from the other side of the table that exudes from him, the focus. You're like, oh no. Yeah, no, he crushed me. It was an honor to play him. It was an absolute honor. It was a pleasure and a humbling experience. Because back then I thought I was like really the fucking bee's knees. So yeah. That was the point why I guess brought this up was that it was Anatoly Karpov's 70th birthday a week and a half ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I shared with her my good old memory of when I met him in person.
It's a good story to share, and it's a good experience to have.
But the thing is, like, it is a good experience to have. But like, I can tell you, as a chess player, that pure focus of him, right? That he just it's worlds. You're worlds apart in terms of skill. When you sit across from that man, because he is so know, the pressure that it comes from him. That thing of, I may not play actively chess anymore, but let me show you.
Yeah, but isn't that how it's supposed to be? You know, you want your, you know, someone you admire to actually show you their
Precisely, their full skill, and the fact that he went full skill. The fact that he went full skill against me meant that I pressured him into it.
He went Super Saiyan on your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. I am impressed by your moves. Now let me show you.
Super Saiyan God.
Well, see, you weren't that bad then, because you made him actually focus.
Oh no, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, though. It's as Karen said, you know, you made him focus, so clearly he saw quite hard, thought quite highly of you.
Yes. But also, I heard Case said that you guys got a board game recently, or you haven't really been able to get to the table yet.
Well, we haven't been able to play lately. We're going to be playing soon, as soon as she decides what she wants to play. We got Dune, actually.
Yes.
And that was one of the games that we got.
That's the one that I showed him.
Yeah.
So no, we got Dune recently. We haven't played it yet, but we're looking at getting into that as well. There's a whole bunch of games that we want to actually get into, go and buy as well. There's a Star Trek game, Ascendancy, I think it's called.
Okay.
Got to get that. I'm a big Trekkie, bro. I've got to get that.
But you're big into your board games as well.
Yes.
You're bigger into your board games than we are.
Yeah, the thing is, like, we haven't had real chance and opportunity with COVID regulations and whatnot to have face-to-face games recently.
Yeah.
But our most recent acquisition is for Too Many Bones. And that's basically 8 to 12 combat sessions of D&D role-playing. That's the entire board game. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. Plus, the entire board game can be submerged underwater without taking any damage to the components.
Why?
Maybe you have a drunken day and everyone spills their drinks on the table.
A real reason is because my wife has magnificent tatas. When she leans across the table, she bumps her drinks over. My board games.
Don't let your wife catch you saying that.
I told them you got magnificent tatas. Sure.
She's probably gonna be like, yeah. After this, he's probably gonna slap you around a few times and just say, "Hey."
Oh, she's probably gonna give me a kiss. There's no such thing as bad marketing, they say.
True.
So basically, the board game components is poker chips, but like high quality poker chips, and your character sheets are made from neoprene, so mousepad material. It's like brilliant. It's fantastic.
It works because you will get those people who spill drinks and stuff like that.
And then of course you have your bones, which are the dice, and the dice are of a superior quality as well to normal dice costs.
And that's important too. You don't want a piece of crap die cost dice.
Yeah, precisely.
That's how it works. It's the truth. Ha ha ha.
What is your favorite board game that you've played?
My favorite all-time board game to this date is Caverna by Uwe Rosenberg. It's a game about a family of dwarfs who live in a cave, and they have to excavate and mine in the cave for jewels, and they have to, at the same time, grow crops and breed animals on the outside in the fields. There's a forested area outside of the cave, so they have to chop down the forests, make space of fields and plant them. And stuff like that. It's a worker placement game. It's strategically high def. It's a good brain burner. That's my all-time favorite board game to play.
Nice. Now, how many hours does it take to play?
On 4 players who are experienced, it takes about 2.5 hours.
Nice. That's a decent
4 player with 1 experienced player, and which is usually me, and 3 newbies, it can take 3 to 4 hours. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Well, it's
Yeah.
nothing like what Dune is gonna be in like Twilight Imperium, where it takes pretty much
Yes.
a whole day.
Twilight Imperium is a
So-
long game. I liked it
So
though.
I love Twilight Imperium. I played it at 4 players, 6 players, and 8 players.
We played 4
Ah.
players.
Yeah, we played 4.
A 4-player game can take 4 hours to 6 hours to complete, right? Right? Okay, cool. So an 8-player Twilight Imperium game. We started on a Friday evening at 7 o'clock. We ended at 12. We started up again on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. We ended at 11 o'clock on Saturday evening. We started up at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. We ended it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And 2 friendships were broken for life by the end of it all.
Jeez.
That is insane.
All the players were in the game up until the last 2 hours. But I'm not kidding you. 2 of my friends, or 4 of my friends, never spoke to each other after that.
It's like-
That's just silly.
it's
They
just a game.
they threw their toys out the pot. But you must understand that it was also at that point like super competitive to win and get this game done out.
Yeah, no, I
And
don't.
people
I don't.
backstabbed and broke alliances and get things done.
It's not me. So if I'm gonna play a game, I'll play it right.
If you win,
Yeah.
you win. If you lose, you lose. That's
That's how it goes.
part of the game.
I nearly won, I must say. I nearly won, but I was like, ousted. They teamed up against me. 4 players. I'm like, oh no, it's gonna go south very quickly for me now.
I don't even remember who won our game. I think we
Neither
all
do
just stopped.
Yeah, we were just so tired. The game just took so long. We were just like,
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like, okay, let's call it quits. I honestly don't even remember who won. I think it was just like it looks like you would have won. Yay!
yeah.
Kind of thing. But as far as I remember, I don't think we played it to the end because
Yeah, I
it
can't
was
remember.
just
It was just
so
so
long and
Yeah.
we needed to get other things done and stuff. But it was still fun. It is a very fun game to play.
yeah, it is. It's a very
Another
fun
game
game to play.
that we love to play now is our most played game in recent time is Tapestry by Jamie Stegmaier.
I don't know Tapestry.
And it's very simple to get into the game and learn the game, but it's very difficult to master the game. And people usually don't give it enough chance to realize how strategically in-depth there is to the game. I mean, if you can score on the board itself, there is markings for up to 400 points that you can score by the end of the game. Right, so the first 3-4 times we played the game, we scored 150, 160. It's like, how the fuck do you get to 400?
Magic.
And that's when you start to think, and you're like, wait a second, I'm starting to see things differently now. So I've once nearly broken the 400 mark. I've got my wife has it on stats, on the Stellar Stats page. It's 380 or 90 points that I got.
You have a
in one
stats
game.
page?
Yeah, we have a little recording app.
Oh,
They're that
Yeah.
into their board games.
Yeah, we're that kind of geeks. We like to record all our plays. Dude, I mean, we're such big board game geeks and fans. We took board games along on our honeymoon to the Maldives. And that was so much fun. It was so awesome to sit by the bar and drink a drink, play a quick 2-player game. A game that takes half an hour to play before you're heading back into the ocean or whatever. But yeah, that's how we roll.
okay, some stuff in news. Trying to find some game news.
So-
Sorry, I'm just looking for board game news. And
My favorite board game right now is a silly
Yeah.
little one. It's a silly little one, but it's quick, but it's cute at the same time, and it's the Exploding Kittens games.
Oh, Exploding Kittens is fun.
It's fun and it's cute, and I got was it for my birthday?
yeah.
I got the Cone of Shame, which actually is part of it, and it's a cone that you have to wear
Yeah,
around your head.
both
It's really cool.
That sounds amazing.
I bought it as like a joke gift for her on top of
Yeah.
her proper gift, and she preferred her joke gift over her proper gift.
Nice.
It's just because I like that game so much, and I thought, you know what, this is really funny, and I like it, and I still want to use it at one point just to see people wearing the cone of shame.
Made by the same guys as Exploding Kittens is Unstable Unicorns, which I bought again. And I already recently realized there's like 4 expansions out already for it. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? No,
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy, eh?
I love that
Monster
game as well.
Peppermint.
It's so fun and fluffy, and it plays quick. It's
Yeah.
lovely for parties.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's very nice for parties.
It's also like we haven't played it yet, but I think it's also from the same creators. They made You Got Crabs.
Yeah.
Crap.
A weird game.
Sounds
Very
fantastic.
weird game. But you have to play with more than 2 people. It has to be 4 people or more because
Yes.
it wouldn't work if you didn't. Otherwise, it's just you got crabs. No, you got crabs. No, you got crabs.
It's kind of so the
Pointless.
idea behind You Got Crabs, as far as I know, from what I remember reading from the rules, is that you've got to work in like teams and then basically accuse the other team of them having crabs or something like that. But it's really funny, very
It's
very
not a great
quick,
time.
very off key as well, which is nice because sometimes you don't always want to play the really long games. You just want to have like a quick little game
Yeah.
or something. So it's
Oh,
nice to have
precisely.
these little ones as well.
In our board game collection, we have a variety of games. You know, ones that are party games for lots of people in the room. Ones for light games that take less than an hour to play. Are great for being a breather between heavier games. And then we have a plethora of super heavy games and cooperative titles as well. Because I love playing co-op. My wife doesn't so much, but we found one co-op game that she loves, and that's the Harry Potter Defense for Hogwarts Battle card game, which takes also less than an hour to play. But the thing is, once you've played one game and you've lost to the game, you want to play again now, because you need to defeat Voldemort, that bastard.
That's different to the one we have. I've got the normal Harry Potter card game where you like play against each other, where you play as Hermione or Draco, and then I think there's other ones that you can get, but you basically like fight each other. So it's also Harry Potter. It's also really cool, but it's also a quick game. But you want to try. It's the same where if you finish, you want to see what you could have done differently, so you end up playing it again and again and again.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember that game that much. No, because one co-op game that I like playing, I played it with my brother. I still like to play with him though. Is Eldritch Horror. That's a pretty cool game.
Oh, Eldritch Horror, man! Now you're talking. That's a game. That's a good game.
We've never won.
We've never won.
4 expansions for it. I've won once, like I can say that much. I've won once. But it's a difficult game. It's a difficult game.
It is.
But I love it. I
With
love
all
it
the
so
monsters spawning at the different gates, it's so difficult because you get there and then you kill the monsters, and then the next turn something else happens, and then more monsters come, and then that's generally what happens with us, where we draw the bad monsters that spawn like all these horrible things, and I think we've come close to winning once, but haven't actually won one.
I also think we figured out that we were playing the game wrong too. We were spawning too many monsters, and that's why it was being so difficult.
That'll be a downside, definitely.
Yeah, because we would spawn them every turn, and apparently you're only supposed to spawn them on particular points, and there's only it's only on a particular card that you're supposed to spawn monsters. No, we just spawn them every turn.
We started running out of monsters. That's how many times we were spawning them.
Yeah, they were starting to stack up on all the places. We're like, we're never gonna win this. And then my brother looked through
the Doom Eternal level difficulty. Engaged.
Yeah. We almost won that one, funny enough. We didn't quite get there though. It was a difficult game. But then my brother read the instructions and it all became clear.
Well, hey, we didn't do too bad. But another good co-op game was man, what was it called now? I think it's called Seven. No, not just Elysium. I think it's called Seven Wonders, where you play with the different. So you play in Egypt and you play in.
Yes.
I think it's Greece.
Seven Wonders. Yeah.
Yeah,
Greece and Rome. And
you've got to like trade with people to get to the different levels and build your wonder, and that was also pretty cool.
It's like a weird version of
Seven Wonders Duel, which is the 2-player version of it, and that was our honeymoon gift. So we played that a lot on honeymoon. That is like back and forth, like it's touch and go every time. So me and my wife have a good record there of like being very equal in terms of skill to the game.
Yeah. No, it's like it's the board game version of Civilization. Even though there is a board game of Civilization, it's the
which
other.
I really want. I really want
too.
the Civilization board game. It looks amazing.
Me too.
The Rising of a New Dawn.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I'll check now. Hang on.
Another one that we got recently as well is the Sherlock Holmes board game, which is 221B Baker Street. And it's so fun where you actually go and you investigate. It's like Cluedo, but Sherlock Holmes Cluedo, where you've got to go to different places and you have to say you're going here, and then you pick up the clues, and then you go to the next place, and then obviously you've got to make your way back to 221B before you can actually give your deduction of who the murderer was or what the thing was, which is pretty cool. Because it's not like I haven't played Cluedo in such a long time, but with this one you have to roll the dice to determine your moves, so you have to roll until you can actually get to where you want to go.
Okay. Can you believe it? My wife had to teach me Cluedo recently, so we could play it online with our friends. I'm like, I don't know how Cluedo works. This game is stupid. You're trying to be bad. But you were so bad at it, just describing this game to me. I couldn't get it for so long until she explained. She sat me down and went, "This is the rules." I'm like, "Oh, is that it? Just that?" My mind kept on wanting more.
No, it's a pretty
it's a very simple game.
It's a straightforte, simple game,
yeah. Sherlock Holmes actually,
I felt like so stupid. Wow.
Yeah, no, Sherlock Holmes isn't that easy. The 221 Baker Street is actually quite hard. The cases are based on his on the writings of Arthur Conan Doyle, but
nice.
But they all are different. They're different because if you've read the books, you'll know how to solve the stories.
Yeah.
So they make sure that they're difficult enough that you can't actually just solve it.
That's really cool. That is something awesome. I love games like that. I would love to sink my teeth into it.
Yeah, there's also an expansion for it, which we have to
Really?
do. Yeah. We still have to get the expansion for it.
A game very similar to Cluedo. It's based off Cluedo, right? But it's like the adult version of Cluedo. It's called Mystery of the Abbey. The premise is the same. There's a killer, there's murder weapons, there's a location, but there's something like 16 friars staying at the abbey, all of them different looking, all of them, so you have to, so every round spawns characters in different locations, and it's up to you and the 3 other players to determine who is the killer.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
And you get like character sheets, and you've got to tick off, basically, yes, I've seen this guy, yes, I've seen this guy. To make it very, like, and you've got to hide all the information from your friends.
Yeah.
But you can, if you cross paths in the hallways of the abbey, you can go, "Hi, have you seen the friar with the yellow belt and the long nose?" And your friend can go, and walk on. You're like, "Oh, come on! Sharing is caring, buddy."
You got me, you have me, who's like vindictive, just going, "No, I'm not telling you," and I carry on.
No, what you would do is say, "Yes, I saw him," and lead them in the exact opposite direction to somewhere that's not supposed to be.
When we played 221 Baker Street, I did that to everyone on the board, because when I was moving around the board, I already knew what the answer was. I was just waiting to
Yeah.
screw everyone around. So I'd like stop here and then I'd stop there, and they were all following me. And by the time I made it back to the thing, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. I know what the answer is.
Yes. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was quite fun. It was very interesting. It's a very good game. But yeah,
We'll be checking it out soon.
Oh yeah.
Bioge. Sorry, I got a
Excuse me.
Bioge here by my lap. He's more like, give me attention, Daddy. Give me
That's how it
attention.
works. That's how it works.
Yeah.
You should know. The cats do the same thing to us. Funny enough, there's no cats for today's stream, but there's a poople for you, everyone. There's a poople for everyone. It's a little poopy. Unfortunately,
Which one is that?
It's Boogie.
Boogie.
It's a little Boogie boy.
Oh, he's a very cute little doggy.
Ah, he's falling asleep. He's so cute.
He gives love of his entire little body. That's how he loves. Just like saying, put his head here.
Sounds
my
like
chest.
Gandalf.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds like Gandalf. He does the same thing.
Hello. Don't do that, puppy. That is my cord for my gate thing. Okay, there we go. Lots of love given.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's no cats for the cat cam today.
And I even put
Aw.
catnip on the bed. But
He
Really?
sat for a few minutes and then he buggered off. He was not interested.
He's like, oh, catnip. Okay, bye.
I'll try getting one of them to come in here.
No, wait, I'll do it.
We'll go fetch a kitty cat for us.
You see the pitch that she actually does it
Oh,
in
here
is
we
so
go.
high that you cannot hear. You can hear it now because I'm speaking, but the microphones actually can't pick that up, and it's not because we have noise blockers on, because I don't. We normally use like RTX voice or something, but for a quiet house like this, it's pointless. So we don't really use it.
Nah, they're all sleeping. They're
but
like,
they're all
oh, I'm
sleeping.
not interested.
Oh,
Less than interested. I'll just get one of
sleepy
them.
kitties. That's okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
One of them's just walked in.
Oh.
Come, Numpty. Come on. I call him Numpty. He's a mummy's boy. He's definitely a mummy's boy.
Here comes the kitty.
There.
Look at that face.
That
It's beautiful.
that is our Persian rescue.
I love Persian kittens. They're so beautiful. Oh,
He's a real dickhead though. He's an absolute dickhead.
dickhead.
Yes, he shits in the bath.
He's a diva as well. Like when we first got him
Oh,
from
word.
his mom, he refused to eat out of the bowls. We had to give him one kibble at a time, and even then he would like only eat it from the floor or from your hands. He was such a
yes.
diva.
Yeah. I thought you put the camera on. What's his name? That's why.
It was on, but there's no one there, so I kept it off.
No, I thought you would have just like kept it on and then just pushed the eye when it comes off. Oh well. Yeah, there's no cat cam today, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world though. Cats only come when they feel like coming. If they feel like sleeping on their bed, they'll sleep there. And they normally do
Yes.
throughout the day while we're working. So we'll always have a cat sleeping inside this cat bed next to us. And if it's not there, they'll be on the windowsill staring at the birds or the squirrels, depending on what they feel
Aw.
like.
And we've recently realized that we have two squirrels. So we've called them, because the one squirrel is Mr. McFoof, so now they're Mr. and Mrs. McFoof.
They've got very floofy tails, that's why.
I saw pictures and videos for a second. Little.
Yeah, huge poof tails.
And now there's two
Love
poof
it.
tails.
Yeah. And then of course you get the real floof, which the real floof is not the one that you saw now. The real floof is Katiti. He's got the real floof because when he runs with his tail goes poof.
Oh, nice.
It floofs a lot. He is the ultimate floof. But yes, he's a very floofy cat. Yeah, unfortunately he's not here now. He's running.
So
away.
not only do you do content creation and you play chess from time to time, but you also cook.
I love cooking. Um, yeah, I haven't been in the kitchen as active as I used to be, but I'm getting back into it. I've been rediscovering my inner cook again. So this week, like the last couple of weeks, I've been, heading into the kitchen, making full meals, planning out dishes, and evening dinners. So yeah, I'm really chuffed to be back into it again. I like this week I made a huntsman's pie, which isn't something I haven't made in about a year's time. And I love huntsman's pie, yeah.
Nice.
What's the craziest thing that you've made? Because like we do simple things. We'll make fancy meals for us that seem fancy, but they're nowhere near as fancy as the other things that you see. So what's the craziest thing? Yeah, the craziest thing we've made is chimichangas.
Or tacos.
The craziest thing I would say it's home-baked nachos.
Oh, those are nice.
So that's very cool. No, but the craziest thing I would say that I've made or helped to make was cardamom coffee ice cream.
Wow, okay.
It is beyond divine.
Can you imagine?
It is my favorite ice cream of all time. I helped my wife to make it because she's like the actual super, maker / ice cream maker expert in the house. And by helping, I mean tasting.
Yeah.
Well, there has to be a taste tester. My dad always used to say that when he used to make food or go grocery shopping, he used to eat it to see, and his excuse was, I have to make sure it's not gone off. So you have to have a taster.
But to answer your question in all earnestness, the craziest thing I've made is my lasagna. It's a benchmark lasagna, basically. To put up against other lasagnas and go, yeah, bring it.
Why is yours different?
Why is mine different?
I'm not telling you. It's
I'm not telling you my secrets. I'll tell you this now. I make a proper bolognese, made a proper 4-hour cooked bolognese. Starting off with a mirepoix white wine, rosemary, and basil at the end.
I normally use cherries.
Instead of a bechamel sauce, I make a free cheese sauce with additional basil in that, and then there's like some other tips and tricks spice wise that I use in between each layer, my secrets.
Yeah, I normally use Shiraz amendments when I make bolognese. A good red wine actually gives it a different flavor.
A good red wine is good, a good white wine is better, I found.
I'll give it a shot sometime.
A Chardonnay.
I'll give it a shot.
Chardonnay for bolognese is fantastic.
Never thought
it actually
of doing
enhances the tomato flavor.
Never thought of doing it that way. I've always used like Shiraz or Merlot because it's got it brings out the flavor, or it puts a nice flavor in the mince. It gives a very nice flavor to the mince. So
trust me, the reason why I use the white wine is because I read a recipe. I got the recipe from Antonio Corluccio, who is considered the godfather of Italian cooking.
Okay.
So I was like, what the hell do you put white wine for in a bolognese? And I made it the first time around. This is worlds apart.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll get some Chardonnay at some point and make a bolognese. I've already made bolognese this week, so I'm not going to do it again. So, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm like super proud when it comes to my lasagna that I make. It's not something I make often. It's a labor of love. It really is. And it is divine. It is so good.
Now I remember seeing some of your photos, and obviously you had that little the dish request in your Twitch chat, and
yes.
I made use of that. And then you see the photos, and I'm just sitting there going, like the Homer Simpson drooling.
You guys I still need to respond to your one request though, making my favorite dessert.
Yes, you do.
Luckily for you, tomorrow we are making my favorite dessert.
Yay.
So I will be posting pictures of that.
Is that the ice cream?
No, it's my wife's lemon meringue pie.
Oh, I love lemon meringue.
I hate lemon meringue.
Why?
Because it sucks.
No, it
Except for my wife's. Which is the most divine lemon meringue pie in the world. It is just like so tart and sour, so right, so
I think Ziff agrees with you because he's not a big fan of lemon meringue either.
Nah, not really. I'm not a huge fan of meringues. I just don't like the taste of meringue. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It rubs me up the wrong way. It rubs me like this.
Oh, it loves you like that.
See, it rubs me like that.
Have you ever made like your own creation of a dish without so not following a recipe from someone else, but something you've put together from start to finish that's fully your own?
Yeah, there's quite a few that I've done that actually with. Like I said, my lasagna is my lasagna. That'll give you done and dusted. I mean, the only thing that I've followed, taken from is from the recipe for the bolognese. The rest I added all by myself. My husband's pie is my own recipe. What else? Frittatas. I love making frittatas for breakfast. And I've got like a very simple recipe that I make myself. I suppose it's been documented somewhere, but I like to think of it as, you know, my recipe.
Trying to figure
So
out
yeah, frittata is basically Italian pizza breakfast. Italian breakfast pizza with scrambled eggs.
Never had frittatas. Always heard about frittatas,
delicious.
but never actually attempted to make it.
We've seen them in the shop.
Yeah, we've seen them, and but we just stick to the tacos and the chimichangas. We haven't done the frittatas or the fajitas just yet.
Only thing we've done is I've chanced making a butter chicken curry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. I've got like my own curry mix that I like to make with
Oh, nice.
with beef. Beef curry at home. Yeah. Then there's also a honey and ginger pork stew that I make with pork fillet.
Nice.
And then when my parents, like, you know, when Daddy goes hunting and he brings back a kuru fillet for me, a whole kuru fillet, and I make kuru Wellington with that.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and a proper old English
Wellington,
sauce.
yeah. Nice. I still want to try a beef Wellington. I haven't had one of those yet.
We've
Proper
had a
British beef
we've had a
Wellington.
vegan beef Wellington which tasted weird, but we haven't had a
Proper
normal one.
British one, yeah. I want to get a proper British beef Wellington. So
I
we're actually
would
looking
love
for a
to
place
taste
here.
that as well.
So we're looking for a place up here, one of the pubs. I'm sure they've got beef Wellingtons.
I must have, man. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and especially up here in Scotland, I'm pretty sure they've got a beef Wellington, a speciality beef Wellington that they would do. So we'll have a squiz, see what we can do. Maybe we can find a nice one.
But cool, guys. Listen, I have to get going again, unfortunately.
That's
It's fine. I was
I know
actually
the
just
time is running out.
no, it's fine. I was
time.
actually just going to say that we
Yeah, it's
need
time
we
anyway.
need you to give us some orcish words of wisdom and then
Orcish
plug
words of
yourself where we
Yes.
can
Right.
find you.
Right, plug myself and Orkish words of wisdom.
Yes, in no particular order.
Let me on the Orkish words of wisdom. Always be proud of what you do, and always accept you for you.
That's very good. Gosh.
Thank you. And you guys can
Double.
find me over on twitch.tv/Gork2000 and also on Twitter under the name Gork2000.
Very easy, quick and easy today, guys. And Angel, your turn to plug.
Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and BitChute, and then the podcast itself you can find on Anchor for the audio version, which links to Spotify and Google Podcasts and.
And so on and so forth. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us and watching and listening on the podcast today. We hope that it's been a wonderful one. If it has and you loved it, please feel free to hit that subscribe button right down below there. Hit the bell icon as well to be notified if YouTube will notify you. And if you like the video, hit the like button because it does help us actually get views and put our name out there so that YouTube can see we actually are trying, because we really are. Gork, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a wonderful time.
Thank you,
Shooting
SA
the shit.
Geeks. It's been awesome to be with you guys again. It was great. Thank you so very much.
It's more than a pleasure, and thank you so much once again, guys, for watching. And as always, remember,
Kiki.
Yes.
bye!